Subscribe to Semper BK Reactions.
Because the key here, the key was, if it's true, law enforcement said that they received a 911 call. Semper BK Reactions family was good. Hey, yo, if you've been here before, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the views. And do me a favor, since you're here, yo, you might as well already just, well, hold up. Don't like yet. Subscribe. Just subscribe. Give it a few shots. Then after maybe 2-3 videos, if you're feeling it, like it, right? Then comment, then share it, all right? Or do all of it right now. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of that. But on a serious note, I appreciate the love. Check out my other videos. Like I said, I do some great reactions to police encounters, use of force, and really, I give tips, man. I give tips about encounters with law enforcement from a former law enforcement officer. And this situation, this case today, is going to be a perfect example of how I'm going to give you some really good tips just to stay out of police way. You know what I'm saying? Even before I was in law enforcement, man, when I was growing up in New York, especially during that Giuliani era, the goal was just to stay out of police way. They coming down this way, let's walk this way. They on the left side of the street, let's walk on the other side of the street. So before we get into this video today, and it's out of Cincinnati, I want to say shout out to Voyage Baltimore. They did a spotlight of my small little clothing brand because of one of my homies, the real Jay Braswell from the Marine Corps. Yeah, they did a little article on me, and I really appreciate it. Shout out to Voyage Baltimore. You see it right there. When you get a second, go check it out. I'm gonna try to remember to leave a link in the description for this video, okay? So we're gonna get into today. It is a First Amendment auditor, right? And if you don't know what those are, basically they are people who go around, and I don't want to say testing, but they are, I guess, just trying to make people knowledgeable about their First Amendment rights. And yeah, honestly, they're testing the waters in certain situations, okay? This one got kind of tricky, and we're gonna get into why, right? But before we get into that, you know the drill, we're gonna get into this. Semper BK Reactions, hold up. Yo, did you tell the people to go over to semperbkclothing.com? Come on, dog. Listen, I need y'all right now to go over to semperbkclothing.com. I guarantee you're going to see something over there that you like. I mean, I got stuff for kids. I got stuff for the women. I got stuff for working out. I got everything you think you could possibly want and or need on this website. And then check it out. Check this out. I'm also offering you a promo code. Use promo code SemperBK Reactions at checkout. All right, people. So like I said, let's get into this situation here out of Cincinnati. And when it's done, we're going to react to it.
Video downtown. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Trisha Mackey.
And I'm Rob Williams. I went out and talked with a man arrested in this video you see behind us.
So this is from yesterday afternoon when he says that he was trying to teach people about their First Amendment rights.
I try to put people on notice. I try to let people know about rights I try to put you on notice about rights that you may or may not know that you have. I teach people how to deal with hostile situations and how to deal with law enforcement respectfully.
People would say to you, wouldn't it have been just easier for you to just tell them your name and what you were doing there?
Absolutely.
That would have been an easier path, but why did you choose this one?
Because I like to let people know that you do have a Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your persons, papers, housing, and effects from illegal searches and seizures. Because people will take advantage of you not knowing your rights.
When asked about his interaction with Cincinnati Police, here's what he said. You can see in the video, bike officers rolling up to question him while he's recording.
It was horrible. I was really shocked that it even happened because I was eventually going to go in some of the government buildings, which is public. But to get a feel on the police, I decided to do the first one on a public sidewalk, which is traditional public forum. And police supposed to be aware of this.
I went on to ask him about recording in front of a bank and how that may have made people nervous.
Where your feelings start, my rights don't stop.
He's been to 13 separate states and done something similar to what he did here in Cincinnati this week. I asked why it's important for him to do this respectfully.
My work is intended for the younger generation. And they have a bad reputation of just being disrespectful to authority, to their elders, and to each other. So if they look up to me and they watch my videos and they think I'm, a cool guy, and they see me being nothing but respectful for everybody, they will follow path, because the youth, they mimic what they see and they repeat what they hear.
Allie Henner spoke with experts on how his arrest and how police responded.
So, Allie, what did you learn?
This is kind of a complicated situation. I did speak with our legal expert about this. He says this is an issue of balancing one's First Amendment right to do things that are permissible under the Constitution versus violating criminal law. Now, Cincinnati Police policy states that recording in public is a lawful activity and not suspicious on its own. Now, in this case, Moses was not charged for filming on a public sidewalk, filming that bank you saw in the video, but for not disclosing personal information. Moses is charged with failure to disclose personal information, a fourth-degree misdemeanor.
To me, it's not a real obvious situation. The thing that we're missing here, we don't know what the officers knew.
Mark Crumbine, a Cincinnati defense attorney, says under the law, there are two reasons for someone to be arrested for not disclosing personal information in a public place.
One is if there's a reasonable suspicion of a criminal offense, that would be number one. And then number two, that they might be a witness to an offense, a serious offense, or an offense of violence.
Crumbine says the issue is, can police prove he was required to give his personal information?
The complaint alleges that he was inquiring about bank security. So I think that's what the police are saying, why that they had a reasonable suspicion that he might be committing a criminal offense.
According to the Cincinnati Fraternal Order of Police, Moses had asked how many employees were working at the bank and where the vault was located, which made employees so worried they called 911 to have police respond. And if any officer has reasonable suspicion that a crime has been, may be, or will be committed, they have every right to identify a quote-unquote suspect.
It's his First Amendment right? But First Amendment rights have limits. And it's that old saying that you can't run in what did they say? You can't run in a movie theater and yell fire, right? You can't yell bomb and there's no bomb. So your First Amendment rights have limits. I'm going to get into where I believe he messed up, right? But he messed up. He definitely was wrong, and he committed a crime when he didn't give law enforcement his information. You know why? Because law enforcement at that point, when they approach, because the key was, if it's true, law enforcement said that they received a 911 call from the bank. He was asking about number of employees. He was asking about vault information. That is suspicious. In law enforcement, that's what we call reasonable articulable suspicion, RAS, right? And I'm just quoting, I'm paraphrasing based off of what I remember when I was in Atlanta Police Academy. It's like the mere set of facts or circumstances that would lead, we had to remember this to graduate, that would lead a reasonable and prudent person to believe that a crime is about to occur. It's more than mere suspicion, but less than actual certainty, something like that, right? You see it here on the screen, RAS, right? And it's based off of Terry v. Ohio, which we'll get into as well. But for sure, they had RAS in this situation. The bank, a person, and we're going to get into how this relates to Terry v. Ohio, somebody inside the bank is receiving questions from a person recording, asking about employees and vault security. That's suspicious. Sure, you can ask about it, but that raises suspicion. Yes, so law enforcement, they have a right and have to respond to that 911 call based on the facts and circumstances they received. They believe that a crime is about to occur. You asking about bank information. So they have to get your information. They're conducting an investigation. Not to say that you will be under arrest or anything's going to happen to you, but they have a right. They're conducting an investigation. You have to provide your information if you are the person the bank is calling about. You have every right. And even after, had he given their information, I bet you they would have released him. No charges, no ticket, no nothing, because he didn't do anything illegal, but he was being suspicious inside the damn bank. Let's get into Terry v. Ohio, because this is for sure based around Terry v. Ohio, for those of you who don't know. And let me break it down. I'll paraphrase it and break it down, paraphrase it. I'm gonna summarize it for you, but break it basically on what I remember. Police officer in Cleveland, I believe, somewhere, Ohio, whatever. I think it's in Cleveland, the city. I guess he was familiar with his beat, and he saw a person or persons outside of, I believe it was a jewelry store. I think, long story short, the way they were moving around, sort of like this gentleman here in Cincinnati. What a coincidence! It's Ohio as well. But anyway, the way they were moving around this jewelry store or business, it raised the officer's suspicion. I don't know if it's because he's familiar with his beat. He knew that something was, like we say in law enforcement, afoot. And I think the way they were in and out the store, something like that, raised suspicion. So he went up and stopped him. He subsequently conducted a pat down and found, I think, a firearm or one of them, or tools like to commit robbery or something. He ended up taking the person to jail. We had this big landmark Supreme Court case, as you can see here, Terry v. Ohio, right? So in this situation, and you can see it hit reasonable suspicion, which also this coincides with RAS, right? But as you can see, this officer in the Cincinnati case, the officers, they had every right to stop this gentleman and get his information. They're conducting an investigation. They got to make sure you're not trying to rob the bank, right? They have every right to. So just as he has to understand when he's doing these kind of things, people are going to be, like in this situation, people are going to be scared. But again, he has a point. You don't have to be concerned about people being scared. But you doing this, which is legal, you have to be prepared for what can come from this, right? You're going to have law enforcement contact. And police officers need to be smart and need to respect your rights. But you also need to be smart and realize when you have to provide information. For sure, he was a little off with his definition, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, right? Yeah, he has every right to have his Fourth Amendment rights respected. But in the same sense, you have to realize that if you are doing something like inside of a bank, recording, asking about employees, asking about vaults, you have to realize that that's suspicious. If you don't want to realize that, you're being unreasonable, right? That's suspicious, right? These people are in a bank. The average person gonna feel like, oh, he's trying to rob us or he's trying to set us up. We got to call the police. Police is calling a situation like that. You got to give them your information. If you don't want to give them your information, you're getting arrested. Obstruction of justice, false information, not providing, whatever. Every jurisdiction is different. But that's basic obstruction, right? So again, I think it's good what he's doing. He's trying to, like me, right? He's trying to provide knowledge, let you know about your rights, let you know about things you should and should not do. But I think he just needs to realize, again, I commend him for what he's doing, but he got to realize, you got to have some sort of limit, right? You can't, you got to be ready for the police confrontations when you're doing something that's suspicious. I think he should just, he could have been filming, he could have done everything he did. But when police rolled up and they asked for your information, you have to provide it, because I guarantee you they wouldn't have locked him up. He didn't commit no crime, but he committed a crime when he didn't want to provide his information. So, I salute him. I think he should continue to do what he's doing and does, but he has to realize that when he's being super suspicious, you're going to get approached by law enforcement. And it behooves you to just provide your information to make things smooth. Right now, even if they're coming up, and he seems like he's smart enough, if they're coming up and violating your rights, you still got to comply and then sue the ish out of them. I'm sure he know that. All right, so we're going to wrap that one right there. I don't know how he going to fight this arrest. Based on what we're getting in the media, seems like a legit arrest. It seems like he messed up by not providing his information. And again, if you're going to do suspicious-ish, you got to be prepared for the law enforcement contact. All right, y'all stay safe out there. I commend this brother. He just need to move a little smarter. Stay safe. Check out my other videos and also check out semperbkclothing.com. All right, peace. Stay safe.